Hello and welcome to Discus, South Carolina's virtual library. Today we're going to look at locating maps in Discus. The resources with the best maps in Discus are Britannica School and Library, CultureGrams Kids, States and World Editions, World Almanac for Kids Elementary and Intermediate, and Learn 360. And you can see from this screen that we have quite a variety of maps: historical, thematic, countries, states. From scdiscus.org, choose By Subject from your top tab, and then select Geography from the drop-down menu. And you will have a list of elementary, middle, and high school level resources that include maps. Britannica Search on Maps and View All is the first one that we'll look at today. When you search on maps, as you see in the top section of the bar, and then you limit to images, you'll see that you have over 150 maps available here in the elementary level for Britannica. You can also search specifically for a specific map. For instance, if you don't want to just view all 150 and browse them, but you want a map on the westward expansion, as you see here in the top search bar, you can simply type in westward expansion, click on images to your left, and you will find more specific maps in Britannica. Finally, you can look at Britannica when you type maps, and you'll see maps of the world when you're in Britannica High School. If you click on Maps of the World, as you see to the right, you will then have the countries appear in alphabetical order. Britannica School and Britannica Library contain hundreds of maps. In elementary and children, you have 151 maps. In middle and youth, you have 320 maps. And in high school and Britannica Library Reference, you have 605 maps. Some of them are of countries, others are more specific, like you see here, the English colonies, Benjamin Franklin's map of the Gulf Stream, the Pony Express. You can always click on the checkmark box to see citation information for an image, as you see here for the Battle of Antietam. You have several delivery options with Britannica Maps. The star allows you to save to favorites. You can print, email, cite. You can copy the link, and you can also share to Google Classroom. Another great resource for maps in Discus is CultureGrams, the Kids Edition, States, World, and Provinces Edition. The maps may be downloaded or printed. In CultureGrams World Edition, you'll find on the first screen, if you click on the View Map as PDF that you see here just above Asia, you will get the PDF version of the world map that would be printable or downloadable. Also in CultureGrams World Edition, as you see here, just below Australia, under the blue bar that says Select a Map, you can choose an outline, simple, physical, political, or National Geographic regional map, as you see all of those options to the right of your screen. World Edition is best suited for grades 6 through 12 and up because there's quite a bit of detail and choice here. In Kids Edition, you can select from the world. You can choose a country from a particular continent, such as Africa, as we've selected here, and then you will also be able to choose a specific country. So as you see here, we have selected the Zimbabwe country, and you'll see a detailed map available and also the outline map. that might be used to test to see if people are able to identify the geographic regions of an area. CultureGrams also has a states edition that is chock full of great information for each state in the United States. By looking at the main screen, you will see here that you can select a PDF of the political, physical, or outline map of the United States. You can also select a specific state, like we selected South Carolina. After you select a state, you'll have an option of using a detailed map, an outline map, or a county map for each state. There are also provinces of Canada, and these follow the same pattern of providing the detailed and the outline map. A third great resource for different types of flags in Discus is the World Almanac for Kids Elementary and Intermediate. And we're going into great detail showing you the elementary search options, and you'll also have these similar search options in your World Almanac for Kids Intermediate. There are 4 ways to locate maps in World Almanac for Kids Elementary. First, you can click on the topics in the top bar of World Almanac for Kids as seen here, and you can choose any of the following topics: Canadian provinces, countries of the world, maps, globes, and landforms, or the 50 states. The second way to locate maps is by clicking on More and choosing Maps. This will give you an overview of maps from the 50 states, from Canada, and across the world. A third way is to conduct a direct search and view the results. You can enter something such as United States map into search window. And you can filter those results by clicking on Images to see all the maps for the United States. You could also type in South Carolina map. Finally, the fourth way to locate maps in World Almanac for Kids Elementary is to click on Teacher Resources for downloadable and printable outline maps. And when you choose Teacher Resources and click on Outline Maps in the bottom right corner, you will then get a PDF of printable maps here. And these will be outlines that students can then complete and fill in for the rivers, the cities, the capitals. You can also look at the States edition or States and Provinces in World Almanac for Kids Elementary simply by going to Topics in the top bar of the database, choosing the 50 states as a topic, and then narrowing down by choosing a specific state, such as South Carolina. And what you'll see here on the right-hand side, you have different types of maps of South Carolina. For instance, industrial, agricultural, elevation maps, locator maps that show where South Carolina is in relation to other states, and outline with and without labels. There's also a great feature in World Almanac for Kids Elementary that is the topic of maps, globes, and landforms. And this helps students to learn about how to read a map, what's the difference between a globe and a map, different parts of a map, and learning about different types of maps. World Almanac for Kids Intermediate is more suited for 6th graders through 9th graders, and you'll see there are additional topics, but you have all of the same 4 options for searching. You just have additional maps. We have America's national parks, Canadian provinces, countries, ocean, lakes, and the 50 states in World Almanac for Kids Intermediate. The last one that we'll look at for as far as map resources in Discus is Learn 360. There are additional options for BrainPop Junior and other databases that you're welcome to look at our A-Z list to be able to determine other resources. But Learn 360 is great because it has actually a breakdown of different types on its first screen. So when you choose maps and flags from the very first screen when you enter Learn 360, as you see here, you will have choices of Canadian, country maps and flags, historical, thematic, and United States maps. The country maps and flags, as you see here for Israel, include elevation maps, locator maps, outline, and political maps. There are also historical maps in Learn 360. You will see a side for U.S. history and for world history. So if you're interested in a Civil War and Reconstruction map, there are 12 of those. If you're interested in early civilizations, there are 11 of those. So you can quickly see what your options are for different types of history. You will see on your left how we've listed out U.S. and world history, early civilization, colonization maps, classical, industrialism, revolution maps, contemporary maps, and even maps of trade routes. For thematic maps, you'll find energy, environment, living conditions, population, illiteracy maps, military maps that are available through Learn 360. There are also United States maps that you will find, and these will provide types of state maps, city maps, counties, elevation, locator, and outline maps. Notice to your right, you also have a citation with each choice that you have here. In addition to all of those initial browse options that you're given at the top of your flags and maps section, you can do a direct search. So if you're strictly looking for a Pony Express map, you can type that in. Once you've typed in your search, you can then click on the tab under Search Results to filter to Maps and Flags. And as you see here, we have an overland route map that traces the northwestern overland routes in North America with the Pony Express here and the Oregon Trail. You have several options to save, download, and share your maps from Learn 360. You can download them to your device, save to Google Drive, share via email, share to Google Classroom, or save as a favorite.